Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're going to be painting 3 simple leaf doodles, so grab your paints and let's begin. Okay, so let's talk supplies. For today I'm going to be using this new paper. I haven't actually tried it out before. This is by the brand Creative Peak. I will have all of the products listed in the description. This is cold pressed and it is 300 GSM. Then I have some gold watercolor paint and some bronzes. This is just going to be to add some detailing. And then for colors today I'm going to work with a limited palette. So I have Undersea Green by Daniel Smith, Golden Ochre by Maimeri Blu, and then I also have Prussian Blue by Maimeri Blu. So we're going to work with a limited palette and just try to make the most of it. I've got 2 jars of water, a ceramic palette to mix my colours. I have a little bit of salt just to make things a bit more fun. And then for brushes, I've taken a selection. I may not use all of them, but I've just put them all here in case. So I have a liner brush. This is a brush with a very straight line. It's just to carry a small amount of paint to make very thin details. I then have a short-tailed liner brush. I then have a thin size 01 brush, and then I've got a mop small pointed brush, and then a large snap brush. This is a size 12. This is by Princeton. So for our first design I'm going to start off with my mop brush, and I'm just going to take a little bit of this green and a lot of water. I'm going to make a light mix. And I'm just going to sort of just place the paint down. I'm not really thinking too much about what shape this is going to be. We're just going to use a lot of water. And then I'm going to take the golden ochre and I'm going to maybe make another circle. But just make it very oddly shaped. And then just connect the two. Just make it a bit darker on one corner. And then with a clean brush, I'm just going to soften those edges over here and maybe add, and then maybe just do a stroke, and then we'll just do a couple of splashes with our brush. So I'm just going to tap. Okay, and then take my salt and I'm going to add it to the green circle. Just like so. Maybe a little bit in the brown, and we're going to leave it like that. So we're going to move on to our next piece and just leave this one to dry. So for our second design, I'm going to take my stiff round brush and I'm going to go in with my Prussian Blue. And I'm just going to make a very desaturated mix of this. So I'm going to use a lot of water and a little bit of pigment. This is just the first step to this sort of leaf design. So now that my brush is nice and full with pigment, I'm going to start at the bottom. Just like so, and I'm going to drag it all the way up. Like so, it doesn't have to be completely straight. And then I'm going to start making branches, pushing my brush down, making a simple leaf shape. And we're just going to repeat this all the way until we've reached the top of the branch. And every leaf doesn't have to be the same size, and it can be sort of more bent or more just play around with your brush and have fun. Okay, so I'm going to leave this to dry. If you want, maybe just add a few splatters. For our third design, we are going to be doing something similar to what we did in the second, but we're just going to add, this one is going to have some gold leaves instead of replacing the green. So I'm going to go in with my green, Undersea Green by Daniel Smith. And for this one, I thought we could do Ginkgo Leaves, which are really nice. So starting off again with a stem at the bottom. And just sort of going all the way up. I'm just going to take a stem off from the bottom. Then a ginkgo leaf is sort of like a heart shape, so I'm just going to paint in one side and then paint in the other side. And I'm just doing this roughly. This doesn't have to be a perfect representation of the ginkgo leaf. This just has to give off the effect. So it does kind of really look like a heart. And then I'm just going to add a darker pigment towards the bottom. And then I'm just going to add another stem here, but I'm actually not going to add any green leaf with watercolor, and you'll see why once it's dry and we're on to the next step. So I'm going to do another stem over here, and this one we are going to do the same thing as we did with the first. And again, just gonna splash it a little bit. If you want, you can add a bit of salt just to make some of them, just give it that little bit of that nice cauliflower effect. So this leaf has dried, so I'm going to go back with my snap brush and I'm going to take this same colour, but I'm now going to use less water and more pigment. We don't want it to be too dark, so we're probably going to do one more layer, but we do want it to be darker than what it was before. Okay, so now doing the same thing that we did in the very beginning, we're just going to go in and add a darker leaf on the very top. You just want to place these randomly throughout the branch. First one has dried, and as you can see, we've got this really nice granulation effect from the salt. So I'm going to go in now with my short, sort of thin brush, my 01. I'm going to grab some gold on my pan. I'll go in and add some gold leaves. So I'm thinking to go sort of straight through. Like so. And then I'm just going to start, I think I'm going to do open leaves, so I'm going to do an open leaf. So I'm not going to fill it in, I'm going to just line the shape. Just changed position of the camera. I just thought this way you would be able to see without my hands blocking. So I'm just going to take my brush, I'm going to draw out the shape of a leaf. Okay, so there we go. I don't know if you can see it entirely, but you can sort of have a look at the beautiful shine that it gives. And then I think what I will add is maybe just some little circles just to tie in the gold together, and then maybe some dots at the very top. Our sort of blue leaf design, I'm now going in with a much darker concentration of the Prussian blue, and I'm going to start from the stem. I'm going to go all the way up just to really darken the center. And then I'm going to add just a few really concentrated leaves. I do not want to add too much. Because I want the layering that we've created to be very visible. Our Ginkgo Leaf design, we are going to draw using my liner brush and some gold, and instead of painting in, we are going to outline, right? We're going to outline the shape. I'm just freehanding this. Then we're just going to fill it in with thin lines that are slightly curved. And we're going to do this for each of the stems that do not have a green leaf painted inside. So I'm just using a very light hand, as I do not want to push down too much. Okay, so there's our first Ginkgo leaf. Then we're just going to fill it in with thin lines that are slightly curved. And we're going to do this for each of the stems that do not have a green leaf painted inside. So I'm just using a very light hand, as I do not want to push down too much. Okay, so there's our first Ginkgo leaf, and we're just going to repeat for the other three. And then I'm going to draw gold lines over one of these leaves, just to tie in all together. If you wanted to, you could leave it as it is, or you can fill in all of the leaves with gold outline. But I want to leave the beautiful green colour to come through and let that granulation shine. So for our last one, we're going to be using gold again and my liner brush, and we are just going to add some details to some of the leaves, not all of them. So I'm just going to start off with this leaf here. I'm going to put a line through it, and then I'm just going to add some leaf spikes, I don't know what they're called, and maybe do another one here. Fill up half the leaf with gold. And then maybe for this one I will add gold dots everywhere. You can pretty much add whatever you want to in the leaf. It is completely up to you. Maybe I will do some stripes. And then maybe I'll do some dots just along the middle. Maybe do another one of that here, and then another one here, and maybe one more there. Okay. Just going to add some lines to a few of them. So here are the 3 finished leaf doodles. Yeah, I hope you really enjoyed it, and I am loving how the gold turned out. I think it looks really, really beautiful. I will see you in the next video.